Welcome to the By Steve podcast.
What's up, guys? It's the By Steve podcast, and we are back on this fine Sunday. I'd really appreciate you guys if you went over to Spotify, wrote a little review on the By Steve podcast, followed, subscribed, and went over to Instagram and found by_Steve Foster and gave us a little follow. So before we get into it, just take a moment, hit pause, and just go follow and subscribe, right? We're back. The By Steve podcast is back. We had our most successful podcast just over about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I interviewed my GB Masters coach, Jesse Sanzant, and it went viral for me and hit the ground running and got an abundance of listens and downloads straight off the bat. So that was amazing. I kind of got to the end of my creative energy and I didn't really know where to end season 1 naturally of the podcast. And I was like 25, 30 episodes in of moving around. And I was due a holiday, I was due a break, and without letting you guys know, I decided to do that. And for that, I apologise. I've taken 4 or 5 weeks off of making any podcasts or any real meaningful content, to be fair, because I've been a bit lost, if I'm honest. And that's fine, because I'm still finding my way. And if anything, I've actually been quite nervous the last couple of weeks about kind of getting back on the microphone and making some content and putting something out, because I haven't really had any creative guidance from myself. I haven't really known where to go with it. And I made myself a promise that I would interview 4 or 5 people through September and October. And I didn't do that. I didn't. I got Jesse on, and that was great. And it kind of was like, yes, I can interview people. It needs a bit more structure, but I know what I'm doing now. And I didn't have anybody else to interview. And I need to work harder on that. So that is part of the process. This will be episode 1 of season 2, and I'm trying to still find my way. And I guess this is just an update of what's been going on. I went out to Abu Dhabi. I had just over a week on holiday, and that was amazing. I took some time to myself, took some time to reflect, met some people, went and watched some basketball, went on safari, and just really wound it back a little bit. And I came back and I still had no clue where to go. I've had a couple of offers of, I guess, some interaction and public speaking, which I need to follow up on, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm working on some new skills and some new focus. And I guess today I just wanted to check in with the listeners and just let you know that I guess it's all right to not know what you're doing. I'm actually quite envious of people, to a degree, who know what they want, who know where their life's going, who have that structure and have that plan. And they're by the time I'm 30, I want this. And by the time I'm 35, I'm going to do that. And by the time I'm 40, I'm going to be this person. I'm going to have done all these things. And I want to be this. And I've never had that. I've never had the desire to make such a structured plan because of the way that my brain, I guess, works. I take everything so day by day at times, and I really struggle with elements of structure. I don't know what I want in 3, 6, 12, 18 months. I really don't. Not from my career. And I suppose in aspects of my personal life as well, I kind of feel like I know what I want. and then I don't know how to get to that point, and all of the bridges and all of the structure that it takes to get to that. It just seems like so many like hurdles, so many challenges, so many bridges to get over. And it's quite interesting because I filtered out like season 1 of the podcast with some element of direction. And as you've seen, like, I haven't done anything, and I haven't done anything with Scotty as well. We haven't done an SAS thing, and we started a new channel, and I haven't kind of like focused on that too much either yet. I took some really big, for me, like, and they probably weren't meant this way. I took some really big emotional blows in relation to the podcast, the back end of season 1. Some of the feedback that I got was constructive, but it was hard to take. And off the back of that, I'm not going to say criticism, but I guess constructive direction from people. It actually really hit me quite hard on like, what am I trying to achieve? And all of the feedback came from people who I respect, love, appreciate in the greatest way. That's why it hurt, right? And it doesn't matter who said these things, and they will know who they were when I talk about this if they listen to the podcast. But some of the feedback was very much like, the message is good. Continue to deliver the message. Because it's finding the right demographics. And some of my friends, family, listeners were like, I listened to X and I took something away from it and it was amazing. I listened to Y. I took something away from that. And it was quite interesting because as a person who doesn't really know what direction this is going in, it was hard because, and I will be open with this, because I've had the conversation with Scotty about our podcast and the episodes that we were doing, that they were just too different. And the message that I was trying to deliver in my episodes was just so different to what energy me and Scotty were giving, that, you know, a couple of people were like, you need to separate that and go in a different direction. If you want to be this person, you can't be this person at the same time, and vice versa. And that was a tough conversation to have with my friend, and we came to a happy place with that, and we set up another channel, and we haven't done a podcast together again since yet, because we're still trying to find what our voice is. And also, like, secondarily to that, to some of the individual podcasts that I'd done, that a few people had listened to things, and I'm still really trying hard to find a way to communicate without it being upsetting to individuals, groups, different kinds of people, right? And it's easy, like, if people don't want to listen to you, they won't listen to you. If they're not for you, they're not for you. Deliver your message regardless. It's really easy to say if, like, you don't know that person, right? And everything that I talk about within my podcasting, when I talk about things on my own, are all my own opinions. They're all my own thoughts and feelings. They're all my own experiences. I try and make that clear as much as I can throughout. I don't know whether I need like a trigger warning, whether I need a precursor, or whether I just need to not care about what people think. And I am an advocate of trying to not give a shit about that kind of stuff. Deliver your message, do your thing, blaze your trail, right? But it's difficult because that comes with what should be a really hard shell. But I'm not a hard shell guy a lot of the time. I take things really personally. I take things really emotionally. And while I can bat some of that off with humor and I can deflect it within the space of my own home, I sit and I think about those things. I overthink everything. And I don't have a big enough podcasting community to be like, right, let's do a poll. What do you guys think? Blah, 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 blah. Some people will listen to this and they'll give me their thoughts and feelings within an instant. And they'll be like, just do what you're doing. Fuck everyone else. If I fuck everyone else in that context, I feel like I'm going to lose people who are really quite close to me because they don't agree with how I deliver it. And trying to find a space where they are happy to either not listen to the content or to listen to it and try and see through my experiences without me having to wave like a context flag. This is my opinion flag. This is my experience. Is hard, right? Because if that is your mother, you can't just be like, well, F that. That's, that's not how that works, right? If that is a friend of 20 years or someone that you really care about and, you take those things on board really personally and you try and alter the delivery, right? I actually haven't wanted to do a podcast in reality for the last month or so for the fear of upsetting people. Because I feel like I upset some people and they told me about it and then I didn't know what to do with that. From a content creation point of view and a podcasting point of view, I have spent quite a lot of time trying to be really happy with delivering the messages about my thoughts and feelings and about the things that I have been through for you to listen to and take something from. And I've really struggled to dig into that for the fear of judgment. That is a me thing to get past, right? Episode 1, Season 2, finding my way a little bit finer. Fine-tuning what the message is, fine-tuning the delivery, and also fine-tuning the listeners and the people. There's one thing that I'm very sure of. I am good at this. I am good at talking to you guys. My face for camera, my face, my delivery, my storytelling is getting better. Stories. I am not here to necessarily upset anybody. My stories are not meant to be controversial. My outtakes, my opinions, my thoughts and feelings are not meant to be here to upset a majority or minority group of people, individuals, or demographics, right? I only have 19 subscribers. I got 1,500 listens over 30 episodes. I'm not taking over the podcasting world right now. So when you upset someone and they let you know, it's a really small pool of people, right? Joe Rogan upsets lots of people all the time. Great. He's got 4 million followers and he upsets 10%, 5%, 1%. It's such a small number of people in relation to the greatness of his delivery that it gets diluted. And he openly says that he doesn't read the comments and he doesn't listen to the feedback. If you only have, let's say, 50 listeners and you upset 10%, that stuff gets back to you a little bit quicker. And I guess in this just over what will be 17 minutes, I'm trying to find my way. I'm trying to tell my story. I'm trying to talk about my experiences that other people are also having so they can relate and take something from it, whether that's in a funny way or whether that's in a reflective therapy way, I suppose. I'm not out here trying to upset the world. I'm trying to find my voice for you to help people. I don't necessarily want to just upset people and lose them from the listening demographic or from my friends and family circle. But I need to hold on to the story and I need to hold on to what I'm trying to do. I will start every episode with a better projection of what's coming. But I've spent the whole of today just considering about where I go with this and I don't want to stop. So I'm not going to. But what I am going to do is try and deliver a better projection of the story, make you aware if you're going to be triggered, but continue to speak on a free basis. If I lose like 3 of my 20 followers, subscribers, I guess that's something I have to live with, right? I needed to do something today. I needed to talk to you all. Happy Sunday. Peace out.
Welcome to the By Steve podcast.